All right, y'all. We are back. All right, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a really big fighting game fan. All right, my favorite game by far is Mortal Kombat. Ain't no question about it. And my second favorite fighting game is Street Fighter. All right, and I don't know if y'all saw these trailers that came out yesterday, but we have a Street Fighter 6 out. All right, and I don't know if I can show this trailer, so what I'll do is I'll fast forward through it and I'll kind of talk about what I like and what I don't like. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Um, I'm gonna skip all this because to me, I see a lot of cool stuff. I see Hugo, um, Metro City. That's Final Fight, but none of this stuff is important. It looks cool, but none of it is important. All right, and I'm gonna skip. Look, I love the graffiti. This right here, I love this stuff. It kind of reminds me of how Street Fighter 4 looked at first. And I'm guessing that says Capcom. I love it. I love all this. And I'm not gonna lie. Man, that look really cool. Alright, but anyway, alright. This right here, cinematic trailer stuff, I don't too much care for it. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't care for it. I don't care for this because Capcom has always done terrible with storylines. Alright, so if this is a story mode, if this is a little snippet of the story, I don't care for it because it's gonna be boring. Now, more than likely, this is just the intro trailer, so I'm fine with that. But how these character models look and all that stuff, I don't care. This part I do like. This part reminds me of the character art in Street Fighter 4. I love the shadowing, but none of that's really important. Let's get to some of the gameplay or some of the character models. Let's see how some of the characters look. All right, so. And this right here, this looks like the park. You know, y'all know the channel, NBA 2K. It looked like they're gonna have it where you create a character and he runs around, and instead of going through main menu and going to different stuff, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a park. And what makes me think that is, I think that's how Dragon Ball FighterZ is. So, yeah, you know, I don't too much care for it, but it is what it is. All right. So now let's talk about character models. I love how Chun-Li looks. I don't know if they're aging these characters. Just looking at Chun-Li and looking at the graphics, I say she's in her mid to late 30s. But she looks beautiful. Um, we'll get into how some of her fighting moves look, but I love her character model. So just get a good look at Chun-Li. That's balling to me. Alright, let's get to Ryu. Alright, and let's fast forward through straight to this little pose he does at the end. Alright, so in Street Fighter 4, one of my favorite characters is Goken. And that's what Ryu looks like to me right here. They got him in the sandals. They got him in the kind of like how Goken had his pants in Street Fighter 4 in his original costume, where he just had his pants tied with a tie. And to me, it looks like Ryu is getting wider. Alright, wider. Alright, as in he's taking up more space. I don't know what I sounded like when I said that, but y'all know what I mean. Alright, so the one thing I saw a video, or I saw maybe read something on Street Fighter 5 that said something that I'm going to say this about Street Fighter 6 without even knowing anything about the game. They said that they leave Ryu alone. Alright, they don't like to add different things to Ryu. They take risk and chances with Ken. So with Ryu, you're going to get the typical Dragon Punch, Hurricane Kick, and Fireball. So I'm not really expecting anything different out of Ryu outside of the fact that he's going to look different. So just kind of a cosmetic difference on Ryu. This right here is cool. Y'all see Chun-Li out here looking like Gin. You know how she's like a martial art master now. Look at her. Look, and I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's Sakura, but she just kind of kicks her in the back of the head. Bam. Alright, that's cool to me. Alright, put her to sleep. But let's keep going. Oh, this is cinematic trailer, so I mean I don't think it matters. Now this guy right here is cool. Let's fast forward. I want to say this guy is like what they should have done with Elena. Like this literally could have been Elena. Now, I don't know a lot about Tekken, but there's a guy named Eddie that fights a lot like this. But you already had Elena in Street Fighter. Now, I don't know what time frame this is. Boy, Luke looks terrible. But maybe he looks great. I don't know. He looks terrible to me because I'm comparing him to what he looked like in Street Fighter 5. But anyway, um, this character right here, maybe this is, and it would make sense. Maybe this is like 10, 15 years into the future. So maybe Elena's too old to be fighting. Maybe this is a relative. Hopefully they kept the story making sense. But he don't really look like he's the same nationality as Elena, because Elena and her family had white hair. They look like Storm, and this guy, I'm not Jamie. I think this, I don't know, y'all. It doesn't even matter. All right, so let's get into how the game looks. All right, let's play a little of it. All right, so just kind of looking at how the game looks, to me it looks exactly like Street Fighter 5. All right, exactly like Street Fighter 5. And I don't know if the graphics look any different to y'all, but it looks like they just amped up the graphics from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Cross Tekken. So that's exactly what it looks like to me. The one thing I'm hoping for in this game, and one of the reasons why I didn't like Street Fighter 5, it was too blocky. And on top of that, the limbs were too stubby. Alright, so if y'all know what I'm talking about, if y'all play fighting games, when you hit the normal buttons, square, triangle, X, circle, those pokes is what we call them in a fighting game. Those pokes were too stubby. Alright, they didn't space well. The spacing had to be done with your walking. And I didn't like that. Alright, and that's why I like Vega so much in Street Fighter 5. He had a fast walk speed and he had a lot of range. But let's keep going. All these moves, they look cool, but the specials really don't matter to me, because when I'm trying to pick a character I like, I just want to see the damage. I kind of don't even care how it looks, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, now that fireball look cool. Look how big that fireball is. They need to fix that. You ain't jumping over that fireball. Not the way they were jumping in Street Fighter 5. You would need some Street Fighter 4 jumping to get over that fireball. Let's take a look at it. Let's get to the fireball, buddy. Well, it looked like some V-trigger type stuff. That fireball is way too fast to jump over. Alright, Dragon Punch. Been there, done that. I love her, I don't know what you call this, but I always called it lightning legs, but I love it. In Street Fighter 4, I liked her lightning legs, but they would always hit you out of range. Not always, but y'all know what I mean. And you would only get a few hits out of it. It looks like it connects fully in this game. Alright, and y'all, let's be honest. I'm finna actually play this. I'm gonna tell you what this looks like to me. Just looking at how Luke looks, this looks like a focus attack. Alright, if you remember Street Fighter 4, when you do a focus attack and they do that artwork, that's what this looks like. So let's take a look at that. This game looks a lot like Street Fighter 5 to me. There it is. Into a super. Alright, so if I had to bet money, that's a focus attack. You crumple the person, and that looked like a super. I'm not sure if you got ultras in this game. I'm not sure of anything. Everything I'm saying is speculation, but that looked like a super to me. Alright. All this look like special moves to look cool. Maybe that right there is a focus attack. That, okay, if I had to guess, that's like a level 2 focus attack, and then the level 3 crumples. They know we want focus attacks back. Look, that looked like a parry. When she did her Hazanshu, it looked like Ryu parried it. In Street Fighter 5, it's like square and triangle. I don't know. I don't know the buttons and don't care. But he went into a dragon punch. I don't know if Ryu has a parry or the game has parries. This right here looks like two focus attacks into each other. Alright. And I couldn't tell you why the video is moving that slow. That was a focus attack, y'all. Now, that cinematic makes me think that that's an ultra. That's the reason why I say I don't know if there's an ultra and a super on this game, but that looked like an ultra. Alright, and this right here looks like an ultra, but who cares? It's Luke. Who cares? Alright. And of course, those just look like ultras. Alright, and then that's Ryu's whatever you call it, chin check. Y'all, it was Ryu's ultra too in Street Fighter 4. I don't know what it's called. And I don't know and I don't care. But the game looks good. It looks good. And y'all know what I'm gonna do? When this game come out, I'm gonna play it. But y'all know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna highly criticize it when Mortal Kombat 12 comes out. If Mortal Kombat 12 comes out. Because those two, in my opinion, are the best two fighting games, and I don't care what Tekken comes out. I don't care what Dead or Alive comes out. I don't care about any of this King of Fighter stuff, this DNF duel. I don't care. None of those games look anywhere close to as fun as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. And the reason why I compare Mortal Kombat is because I'm going to tell you what's important to me in a fighting game. Creativity. Can I express myself in a fighting game? And if I can't make up my own combos, then I can't express myself. Now in Street Fighter 4, you were limited by your skill. Street Fighter 5 not so much. Street Fighter 5 kind of killed the skill gap. They didn't have the one frame link, so it was a lot easier to do combos. So if you saw Daigo or your favorite competitive pro fighter doing a combo, if you really practiced and dedicated yourself, you could do it. Street Fighter 4, no, you couldn't do it. I don't care how good you were. Alright? There were things that some people could do that you just could not do. And that's okay, like LB says, and that's okay. Now, Mortal Kombat, why I brought that up is Mortal Kombat had it to where there was I'm going to call it a gravity system, where when you're juggling somebody, gravity's pulling them to the ground, and it wasn't that their links, as in your timing mattered, but what so proved whether you were good in that game was could you juggle, and could you keep somebody up in the air, or would gravity get control of them first. So when I say what's important to me in a fighting game is creativity. Can I express myself, or does the game force me to play a certain way? Street Fighter 5 was real big on forcing you to play a certain way, whereas Mortal Kombat X left you alone to be free and express who you are. Now, Mortal Kombat 11 more so forced you to play a certain way, but I don't really hold it against Mortal Kombat 11. I think they were taking the approach of being more competitive, all right, and making a game that would last a lot longer as far as in tournaments. But I don't want to start rambling, y'all. I don't know how long this videos went, but that's just my impressions of this trailer. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Street Fighter 6, and I don't know a release date, but let me know if y'all gonna play it, because that's really what's important to me, whether y'all gonna play Street Fighter 6 or not. All right.